Hello everyone. I'm doing my very first makeup tutorial. I got a special request. Yay, Instagram. It was actually my aunt, so I don't know if that counts totally, but it was via Instagram, so I'm counting it. I'm excited, but I'm nervous because I've never done one before, and I think I'm fully prepped and hopefully it goes well. I'm gonna try not to drop much. No promises, but I'm gonna try. So I have toned, I have moisturized, and I have primed my face, and I've put on a little bit of color correction and then my foundation. So this tutorial is going to be about an eye look that I posted on Instagram recently. It's I called it natural-ish. I mean, there's nothing natural about it. This would be my natural look, and I don't think anyone wants a tutorial on that. So this is kind of a lower key. It's not full glam. It's more of an everyday, but has a little edge to it. So it's like got a little something. I'm going to start with Urban Decay's eyeshadow primer, and I'm not going to talk a lot about the products because this is not one of those videos, as much as I would love to, because obviously a girl can talk a little too much apparently. So priming. I also put my foundation over my eyelids just as an FYI, and sometimes I do my makeup, my eye makeup, after I finish my full face look. I did not do that today, but sometimes I do, and when I do that, I also put my concealer over the eyelids as well. But I didn't do that, so I'm using my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer instead. You can do either or, whatever makes you happy. And I'm using my Urban Decay palettes. I'm using the Smoky and the one. So the last one and the first one. I'm going to start by putting down a nice neutral base in my crease to build on and blend out for my transition. And so in the fourth palette, in the Smoky Eye palette, I'm going to use Combust. It's a matte, and I'm just going to work that into my crease and blend it out. And I gotta go a little heavy-handed with this one because it's such a neutral color. It's like a very, or maybe I should say a nuder color. It almost matches my skin tone. It's just got a little bit more of a pink to it maybe than my skin tone does. Just under the brow bone. I don't really want to put much shadow there. I'm just trying to blend it in so it's a really smooth transition there. Now that I have my Combust in and worked in nicely into the transition area, I'm going to go in with Naked, which is a little bit tauper and a little less pink. And I'm just going to go in the crease with that. And I'm using, for this one, the first one I used a fluffier brush. This one I'm using a brush that has a tip on it that's a little more pointed. You can see that. This one's the Morphe E22. And Morphe's Elite line is on sale for 40% off now. They're already like ridiculously low prices for pretty decent brushes. And by the time this video comes out in a couple of days, I don't know how many of them will be left because they're just selling them until they're gone essentially. It's my understanding that they are discontinuing the Elite line and they're replacing it with a new line soon. So these are great brushes though, and I'm getting in that crease really well, and I'm trying to stay low. I'm trying not to work this one up as high as I did the first one. Now then, I'm going to use Buck out of the first palette as well, and I'm going to use the same brush, but I have two of them, so the same brush. And this time I'm just staying in the crease. Like, I don't even honestly want to work that up at all. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. I'm going to go back with the brush that I used Naked on, and I'm going to put a little more Naked on, and I'm just going to try to blend that because I like my transitions to be blended to death. So I do work a transition, work it, girl. Get it done. Okay. So I feel pretty decent about that. I've come down a little bit lower on my lids than I would have liked, so I'm going to try to correct that now. Using a lid brush. This one is the Sigma Large Shader, the E60, and it's just a nice wider lid brush, so it's more for the all over lid. I'm going to kind of blend the Combust with the 13, and that was back in that Smoky Eyes palette, the last palette. I'm going to blend those two together, the last two on the ends, to try to get a fairly decent neutral without it being too much of a highlight. I don't want it to, I'm going to do a nice shimmer over this, so I guess if you wanted to do an even brighter highlight color, you could, and it would be fine. To prevent this, I would like to teach you something. Learn from my mistakes. To prevent that, I should have used a smaller crease brush, which I have a couple. This one is the Morphe E18, and that little rounded head, barely rounded tip. It's a much finer tip. That would have gotten all up in that business and would not have done that. So that's the one I should have grabbed, but I didn't. And then I will take that brush, the appropriate brush now, and I'm going to go back with Buck because I want to intensify that crease just a little bit now that I've tried to buff it out. Okay, now I've worked that crease a little bit. I've tightened it up just a little bit. Had to fine tune it. I'm going to go in with High, which is out of the 4th palette, the Smoky Eyes palette by Urban Decay. And I'm going to apply that to the center 2/3 of the eyelid. I'm going to use it to kind of highlight the center of the eye and leave the outer edge and the inner edge a little more open to do something different. Now this is a very high shimmer shadow. It has a lot of kind of glitter in it. I'm going to use, I like to use my MAC Fix, Spray Fix, to spray the brush after I have dabbed it pretty aggressively in that palette. And now I'm going to use this brush to kind of pack the center of this eyelid. Now I don't know if this brush is really made for this, to be totally honest. I'm not sure. I think it may be a concealer brush, but I just love it to like pack the snot out of the middle of my eyelid. It works, y'all. I love the size of the head is perfect. The width of it's perfect. I can just get it done. Do it. And this is the MAC 242 SE, whatever all of that may mean. And you can see that there. Now remember, I said this is more of a natural look, right? Sure. It's definitely toned down. It's not going to be a full glam. This is an everyday look. You could wear this every day, every single day, and you will be looking good. So next, what I'm going to do is probably not what I was about to do. JK people, what I'm really going to do now. So stupid. What 40-year-old says JK? Can you just tell me that? Who does that? Okay, I take that back. I am taking back my JK. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work the outer edge, and I'm not going to do a traditional wing on this eye, this look, because I'm trying to be a little tiny bit more subtle. And so I'm going to use Whiskey out of the Smoky Eye palette, I'm going to use a really small brush. Now, I can't even tell you the name of this brush, honestly, because I got it from Morphe recently. It's one of their vegan collections, and I just thought I would try it because it was super freaking cute. That honestly is the primary reason I bought it. And it came in a set for, as usual, per Morphe standards, pretty inexpensively. So I think there were like 12 of these brushes in the set, and it's actually a really good set. You should check it out. I don't know if it's focusing for you to see that or not, but it's just a really fine brush, small, long, slightly pointed. So what I'm going to do with that brush is I'm going to work it into my lash line on both sides, and then I'm going to come up slightly like I would my wing if I were doing a regular gel liner wing. And I'm just going to work that into the outer edge there and up a tiny bit. And then I'm going to do the same on the other eye. Just trying to stay close to the lash line and fading it out up towards the crease as the pigment comes off. Then I go up towards the crease just a little bit. And there we have that. I'm going to work my wing here a little bit. Now, what I did, I have this product is made by Aveda called Color Options. It's called an eyeshadow transformer. And I picked this up probably 8 months ago or so from the Aveda salon. You can just walk in. Oh, can you see that? You can just walk in and get this product. It has a lid that opens, and you literally just squeeze the bottle and it drips the product into the lid. So it's really easy to use. And then you take your brush and you dip it into the liquid and then into your shadow, and it turns your eyeshadow. It just intensifies the color of your eyeshadow, and you can basically almost make it like a liquid liner. It's not as intense as some. I have used other products that make it even more intense, and it's not that intense, but it does definitely bump the color up. And it also, like, I don't know about you, but I get nervous when I do my gel liners. I sweat, y'all. Like, I literally start sweating when I am doing my gel liner. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, I start stress sweating. Like, my upper lip starts to beat up. I'm like, oh my God, this is stressing me out. I'm going to completely jack my crap up. Like, it makes me nervous. This doesn't make me so nervous because it's like easy to fix. Like, it's softer. It's a little more natural looking. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work the inner corner of the eye just a tiny bit, not a whole lot. And I'm going to go in with Virgin, which is out of the first palette. And it's the first color in the first palette. And I'm going to put some of that along the inner edge of the eye. And I'm going to work up just a little bit. And so this color has a little shimmer to it, but not nearly as much as High does. So working that, it's going to serve as a nice highlight without, if you don't jab yourself in the eye like I just did. Looking good. I like that. Looking good. Looking good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of my holy grails. I know this is not a holy grail video, y'all. I know that, but I just have to say, Charlotte Tilbury, much love for this woman, I guess. I don't know her personally, but much love for this product, at least. This is the Rockin Kohl Iconic Liquid Eye Pencil. Y'all, I love it. So I'm going to put that in my waterline on the bottom. This is made by Ardency, which is a crazy name for an awesome product. This is their Smooth Ride Supercharged Eyeliner in black. And I love this for the lower lash line. I probably should sharpen it, to be honest, before I do this, but I'm going to smudge it out anyway, so I think it'll be all good. And I'm just going not fully to the end of the eye because it smudges out so well. But you really don't have to do that for the look that I'm going for here on both sides. Okay, so after I have that on board, I'm going to take the Morphe M432 brush, which is a just kind of flat tip brush. And I like to use this to just blend out that liner. Just make it more subtle. Blend that joker. Blend, girl. Just a little bit. I want it to just fade really nicely. And then at the end here, I'm going to come up with it. And it's not coming out as sharply as I would like. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my brush and I'm just going to kind of rub it. I'm going to rub it along the eyeliner there. And again, I'm not trying to be like crazy dramatic with it. So I'm not trying to make like this really bold, sharp line. I just want it to kind of fade in because this, again, this is a daytime look for me. This isn't a nighttime look, so I don't want to get too crazy with it. Although, if you want to get crazy during the day, get crazy because makeup is about what makes you happy. So, do you. You know what I say all the time. Well, maybe you don't because there's only like 5 people that watch me. So, what I say all the time is be you, do you, and worry about you. Now to kind of just give that space a little more definition is I'm going to use the same Aveda eyeshadow transformer and on an angled brush, which I know we would never use for anything other than our eyebrows, right? Or maybe our lash line. I'm actually going to use that and I'm going to dip it in the 13, which is on the Smoky Eyes palette again. And I'm just going to dab that in here. Just to kind of accentuate that double wing, sort of, that pseudo double wing. Take, and I'm going to blend that out a tiny bit with just a smaller tipped brush. I'm going to highlight the inner corner of my eye, just a tiny bit. So I'm going to use 13 again. And I'm just going to go right at the inner corner, just a smidge. It's going to be really subtle. Brow time. I don't know if you want to see the brows. I feel like this is already going classically long. I mean, it's kind of my MO. I don't know. I don't mean to. I swear I don't mean to. So as quickly as possible, I will do my eyebrows and then I think I will fast forward through. And so I am using the Anastasia brow pen. Pros and cons to this. This is not something I use every day. It does not tend to last quite as long as I would like for the actual product itself. I mean, once it's on, it's fine, but I just mean how long your tube is good for. It tends to kind of dry out. It also doesn't go on over makeup very well. So like if I had done my concealer first and all that around this area, then to go back with this, it does not work well, like at all. So that's a con. What I normally use is the Anastasia brow definer that has the spoolie on the end and it's more of an angled top. This, by the way, is a drugstore product. This is the Brow Drama by Maybelline. And it's pretty good. I kind of like it. Brows are done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hurry up and do my mascara. I'm not doing lashes and I have fairly long lashes on my own. And so for my daytime look, I do not wear lashes. Like there's just no way I'm going to be wearing lashes to work. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love that glam. I do. I love it, but I'm not doing that. So this is the Lancome Hypnose. And it's pretty amazing. It's probably in the top maybe 3 or 4 mascaras that I've used, and I've used a crap ton load of them. So that's all I'll say about that. FaceTime. Okay guys, so this is it. What you missed was me doing the rest of my face routine. That included a little bit of contouring, some blush, some highlighting, a little bit of bronzer around the hairline, and then I went back and I touched up my mascara a little bit, and then I did my most favoritist nude lip of all time, Jeffree Star's I'm Nude, with a little bit of Marc Jacobs Sugar Sugar on top. So that completes the look. So I hope you guys like it. I'm going to feel really silly kind of doing this. But this is my everyday glam look. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this. You can take whatever tips from this that you want to and make them your own, change it up, be even more dramatic, less dramatic, whatever. Anything that you all would like to see from me, please talk to me, please. I'm just waiting. Otherwise, I'm going to keep doing my aunt's special requests, and I don't know how long that would last. So if you like the video, please, 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 please give it a thumbs up. Tell your friends about it. Subscribe. You don't have to get the alerts. Just subscribe. I mean, if you don't really want to see them that bad, just subscribe and then, you know, you never have to see me again. It's fine. Okay, guys. Love you as always. Be you, do you, worry about you. If you didn't like it, I hope you find something that you do like. Otherwise, see you next time. Bye. So, and I don't know if you all can notice this. Oh my God, I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm just gonna go to bed. Okay, just out of the shower. I blow dried my hair. I have my foundation on. Ooh, that was a good one. Okay. And I'm gonna work on out of the okay, so I'm gonna ow, son of a bee. Oh my God, I'm a dork. I am a dork. Don't do that. I can't do it. I can't do that. I'm sorry. So this is the look. This is the look. Okay. Oosh. That was like really masculine. Was that like, I didn't even know I could get that low. Peace. Peace. Ooh. Okay. End of tent. Relax, people.